Now, Grace. Oregon, huh? On the one hand, Reven looked like they really sucked on Oregon last playday. On the other hand, it looks like Reven might match up just stylistically really well with Alpha Theris. I think if Reven can win even one attack, even just one, they can at the very least bring it to OT and maybe win this in a 2-0.
That is a bold statement. This is the thing, right? I do love these boys a lot. I will say it. You know, not being biased caster right now. I love them to pieces. They are lovely, lovely
Or the
individuals.
definition of biased caster right now.
Draw and Sam are just amazing people. I adore them. But again, they're very, very competent players. I've followed their journey for a very long time. I know what they're capable of. Again, you know, the rest of the guys on the team too, Rafe, you know, Runner, Joe, they are very capable at putting the pedal to the metal. I just think that things need to be a bit more cemented. You know, we've touched on this point so many times. It just needs to be more concrete. The 3-2-1s need to be more on top form. The trades are coming through, and it obviously, again, like it's been a massive, massive upward trajectory from the last time they played already. My main concern is, again, you know, these attacks, they need to be a bit more concrete. The comms need to be fluid. The information needs to be very good. I like already that they're seeing them take advantage of the fact that Doka is left on the table. Of course, yes, the Lion being banned out, but that Doka is very, very useful to have in pocket still. That global utility, the secondary EMPs if you need it. Flora's being brought too. They're not going to 6 off that. Hopefully, they're not going to 6 off that at all. But again, oh, for goodness sake, as soon as I say it, thank you, Draw. The Zofia getting picked instead. I was going to say, the Floras is sensible because they could have cleared so much more utility with it. But I guess you can kind of do that with the Zofia if there's, you know, no ADS to catch it out. But at the same time, you do get those concussions as well. And that can be quite good if you want to go for some of these aggressive swings.
All right. Yeah. Zofia.
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 Are you just gonna whisper Zofia to me for like the next 10 seconds?
Everything you say,
though,
everything you say differently from me. I'm just gonna repeat.
Okay. Matumbo, a very aggressive position held in showers just in case someone does want to take white stairs. They do have this very aggressive open setup as well.
Swing this guy!
Well, I don't think they will now. Ooh, getting tagged up a little bit. Escaping with your life for now, though. Again, the drone's coming through. They were aware of that position being held. Now they can take small tower for free. This aggressive setup, though. Fatal with a shotgun in hand. I love these kind of setups, especially when you have players like this. Alpha are so good at playing aggressively.
I'm seeing that guy prone on the table with the shotgun on the breach. That's really funny. But, Grace, we just saw proper utility usage. That was awesome.
We did.
Getting rid of that trophy shield. Forcing Alpha Theris back. Now, they have to worry about this open games breach, and he's just going to reinforce it! Oh my gosh! Ivan with family jewels of steel. I can't believe he just got away with that. So now the breach has been locked off. There's a jammer, too. They have... Wait, alright. They have no more EMPs. How did that happen? So they're going to have to go below to get this wall open. But they do pick off Jay, who is on smoke.
And already, both shotguns falling out of the hands of Alpha when they wanted to play a bit more aggressively. Those close quarters engagements. This is where things start to get a little bit heated. They have to hold a little less up close and personal. Well, as I say that, Ivan's going to position themselves right close to that double window. But now Reven can take their time a little bit. 40 seconds or so to go. They're setting up for this collapse. Matumbo and Ivan are going to get downed and taken out. Poor Nade left now in a 1vx. There's one, but Draw trades it back out again. Reven, round number 1 on the table. It's looking good, bro.
Here we go. Again, like I said, I just feel like they match up so well stylistically.
Yes, they do.
Alpha had a really cool setup. Reven actually used their utility really well. That forces Alpha back. They get the reinforcement down, and then it becomes a normal attack. This is now a normal attack. And Reven get the opening pick. So what does Alpha Theris do? They try to fight back. They feel like they have to make a play. They get aggressive right into Reven's clutches. We saw it all last map. And it happened in round 1 here. I feel like it's going to be a trend. If Alpha Theris can't get the opening pick, they're simply just not going to win the round. Now, for Reven, I think it's a different story. I think they have better, resiliency to that kind of play, even though they're also, very aggressive. Kind of case in point, Alpha Atheris in the last map, they got a lot of opening picks, but in terms of round wins, they were only 6 for 8. Right? Rounds 2 and rounds 14, they were able to get the opening pick, but they never won the round off of that. Whereas Reven, were able to take those rounds back. Alpha Theris only won when they had the first kill.
Rightfully so. They decided to go for something a little bit more close quarters. Granted, they are holding that top floor control. I've seen him cut off the entirety of Kitchen. Again, presumably they would be playing still kind of CCTV Zulu quite aggressively. Really, Reven just want to do a full clear, and this is very sensible indeed. Just again, isolating these players on the defense, whittling them down one by one. Ooh, Matumba Uvo. Large pick.
Ooh. Nice shot, though, but they don't know about the cap can upstairs. So it looks like there was maybe a lack of info on the side of this attack. The Doe could be the next to fall as Wrath is just trying to take the 1v1 and loses it. A lot of unknowns coming into play for Reven. Didn't know that there was a crossfire established on the hatch and in security. Didn't know that the cap can was coming down white. Now a 2v4 for Draw and Sam. Flash comes in. There's no one else holding pillar with this Goyo, so he gets chased back and now killed. Even though there's a cam. Now a 2v3. Whole minute and a half to play with as well. Draw might be able to get the pick up in this castle. This round is still very winnable for Reven.
100%. Again, patience. They can just try and work out. Some of these players are clear some of this utility as well. A minute to work with, so, you know, being a bit more passive here, getting that information under your belt. Isolating some of these players, maybe Ivan covering electrical hatch though. This could be pretty large. They are going for the drop.
And he loses!
Gets caught out though! He misses indeed! Sam's gonna collect that! This is now a 2 versus 2. Much, much more winnable, especially you've still got 40 seconds on the clock. Draw's going to go for the drop. Gets one. Can they get the second? No! The EDD! It comes through. Sam is going to fall down. Fatal versus Draw.
Draw's 1 HP.
Further ring around the Rosie can start to come through. Crow! But there we have it. SMG 11 to the face. Fortunate timing there indeed.
Oh, that was so sad. They were so close. So close. But, what do they say? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Again, lots of unknowns for Reven on that clear. They did a great job of bringing it back, chasing back that Goyo. Ivan made a pretty terrible misplay in dropping the hatch. I mean, like, as long as you watch that hatch, your team does not have to worry about E-Box. They can completely focus on long haul. Draw had a great kill dropping the freezer hatch. Those cap cans. Absolutely detrimental. And Draw from there, 1 HP going up against the SMG-11 shotgun combo. Unless you're landing a first bullet headshot, you're not winning that. You're just not. Now it's Dorms again for Alpha Atheris. It looks like they have pretty much the same hold with the the open games wall, the trophy shield, plenty of utility stacked up. Probably gonna see a similar take too. I mean, considering it worked perfectly last time, just burn the util, get rid of the shield, and then Alpha Atheris will be forced to reinforce, and bam, normal attack from there.
that Alpha gone back to trying to keep hold of a lot of this shower's control again. Will this upstairs hold? Maybe Simon Tumbo can stay alive for a little bit longer. Again, a hyper-aggressive setup. Not only do you have that closet completely blown open, you've also got lots of verticality in case people need to fall downstairs and play it that way as well. Speaking of which, Mutombo's still lurking. Oh dear.
Huh. Ooh! Alright. Nade with two openers. Could be a third. With Wrath coming up the stairs. Nade almost kills him. He lands a couple of bullets, but can't find the head. I mean, still. I'm sure he's certainly very happy with that trophy hold. Picks on a Joe and Sam. You take a set of nades. The only set of nades off the board. You kill the only hard breacher. Maybe they'll be able to reinforce this games wall, and if they do, the round's pretty much over. Spanish Thatcher is pretty funny. I love hearing the operators speak in Spanish. I don't know why. Some of the voices are actually kind of close. It's impressive.
It's just a very elegant language, in my opinion. A very lovely.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, I love this. Runner sneaking in a little bit. Not willing to give too much sound away. And this could be massive if Runner...
Oh, he knows. He turned.
Oh, I think he does now. I think he had a shuffling, a rustling. Just behind the corner. Gorgeous stuff. There we have it. Runner being taken out.
Some BM from a Tumbo too. 2v5. Draw and Wrath, the last two remaining. 45 seconds left. Wrath now dead. Draw gets one back, but there's still 4 more to find, which is a tough task for anyone. And there it is. Shotgun to the chest. Alpha Theris with round 3. Being able to win the extension pretty much just because Nade dumpstered everyone who pinked him.
The Nook. The Nook being brought out, bro. I'm not going to hold my breath, actually. Again, we've seen a lot of repicking when it comes to these two teams. I think they want to see what site they're getting at, definitely. Yes, there is a potential draw will stay on Nook because maybe they will decide to go into basement or maybe take, you know, small tower with a bit more silence behind them. But already we're seeing him pick onto that Dokkaebi. Personally, I think that's a bit more of a sensible choice. Again, you have the EMPs in pocket. You have that global utility. You can pinpoint these players of Alpha a little bit better. Especially if they're holding onto some of these positions for quite a long time. You know, we saw last round, Mutombo was holding bottom of white for 99% of that round. I'd see what will go down here as well. Again, the fact that maybe they'll hold on to the top floor for as long as possible. This is the best way to hold on to that meeting site as well. Granted, again, they have these aggressive setups on the rear stage. They have it blown out to the left again. They're holding on to these very aggressive crossfires. Will Reven retaliate? Rather being brought to the table, Crow. How'd you like those apples?
I wonder what they're going to do with them. I'm trying to think of the default cams in Oregon. I mean, you have Armory Stairs, you've got Lobby, Tower T1, I guess, but you can't watch the stairs. So they can still flank from there. Or, like, get kills on stage before you see them. I don't know. I don't think Oregon's really a Brava map, but...
Agreed.
Maybe they can find some site utility. That could be good. Joe is just...
The Banshees.
Joe's just swinging. No info and gets softened up a bit. It's going to be a tough hold for Reven to try and break through. They got a nice trophy crossfire, top main hold too from that Malusi holding the head holes. Joe's going to try and nade it away. That could find its mark. Deals some damage to Mutombo. In comes the peek from Ivan looking to assist. But it's Joe with the opening pick, and we know how Alpha Atheris tend to react to losing that opening pick. Ooh! That was a nice pre-fire. That, I mean, that might be the kill off if there's need. Now they're not going to feel pressured to try and make a play to get the man count back. In fact, Jay's going to drop down. That's good discipline.
Are they aware that Sam is now holding this angle? If someone tries to run in through the kitchen from green, they could be caught off a little bit off guard. Oop, it's just like that, to be honest. Jay is going to fall down. No immediate trade either from the side of Alpha. Ooh, they do go for the spray and pray. This could get Sam a little bit caught off guard. This is where the verticality upstairs needs to start coming through. Apply this pressure, especially in that kitchen site. Here we go. The soft pads coming through from Runner. This should do the job. Alleviate that pressure that Sam is now dealing with, Crow.
I've also got to take this guy out of security. Another thing that this breaching charge can do. It seems like they have the pings. They need to deal with him. Otherwise, they can't walk into sight. Matumbo gets the kill on a Sam, equalizing. C4 comes out, no damage done. Ends the swing from Draw to react, though. Running the cameras instead of the para, and he gets two! Draw storms into security, takes full control. Puts the team on his back in the 3v3. Once again, Reven with the opening pick end up taking the round.
Goodness me. That is a certified goodness me moment, I'm afraid. I think, you know what, they played that really well. Every single step they had to do, they were just getting immediately. And every opportunity they had was just falling beautifully into their hands. You know, it was a very nice round from them there. Sam being patient, holding that crossfire, sneaking into the right angle. The verticality coming through when they needed it. Again, it's all about pressure when it comes to, especially kitchen. Yeah, granted, you know, you don't, how to explain this in a diplomatic way. This stage isn't the best site to collapse into, you know? 9 times out of 10, people have that attic control. Alpha bring in the Oryx a lot as well, so there's always an opportunity of them going for a flank and retake to take that, you know, rear stage control again. The lines of sight you can create to defend that kind of collapse is just insane. Attacking kitchen realistically was their best option. Less utility setup there. You could kind of sneak in a little bit unnoticed. Then the pressure's mostly just coming from kind of kitchen, green, and CC. At this point, you've got the top floor control anyway, so you're working that verticality, and even if someone does decide to go for a flank, it's very difficult to do so because they have to get very up close and personal to do that. I think Reven played that really well, and again, it's 2-2 right now. This is already looking very, very good for them. Certainly already a massive improvement from last time they're on this map. A little bit of a shenanigans in Zulu right now. Ooh, the nade, missing nade. But a swing around the corner, Joe. Gorgeous stuff there. Already opening pick going in the favour of Reven. This is looking very good indeed. There's another one. Jay falls down. Joe on a little bit of a tear thus far. Can he get a third?
It's Draw instead to kill Ivan on the top floor. The difference for Reven here, better info, not only with the drones, but bring Jackal and Dokkaebi in combination. There is nowhere for these roamers to hide.
Wow.
3 kills for Joe. And Reven, a flawless attack, figuring out the roam, dealing very easily with the crossfires instead of walking their way into kitchen. The Jackal plus the Dokkaebi to kill the Capcan upstairs, and from there, flawless. And now, Reven have, at worst, tied the half. I'm telling you, this is a 2-0.
I feel like you may jinx it if you say that too early. However,
No, I've never jinxed anything in my life.
this is already such an improvement from Reven. It really is. Alpha just getting caught off guard a little bit. I think, again, they're expecting, maybe because of what they've seen from Reven on this map before, they're thinking, okay, things are going a bit janky. Maybe they'll play this a bit safer given how things went last time. Reven are actually following the way that they're playing around this aggression. Again, we saw the opening pick as an example, a perfect example of this. You throw that nade, they kind of go to avoid it, but you're following up by pushing and taking that gunfight. You're engaging behind it. You're being like, okay, maybe you are going to dart out of the way, I'll just swing you. And granted, yes, sometimes that kind of aggression can be silly sausages, but it's working. Because Alpha, I don't think are expecting it in those moments. They think the Reven are going to play passively. certainly now they need to get a gauge of how Reven are playing. They need to equalize this to a 3 versus 3. You're an Alpha fan right now. You really want them to secure this final defensive round. It's going to give them the best chance of trying to secure this victory and not getting 2-0'd.
2-0'd.
See, when you stop bullying me for my accent. Relentless.
Oh,
Ooh.
Joe is getting hunted down because he's already in the basement and he's just going to get collapsed upon. So I admire the attempt there from Reven, thinking, you know what, all right, they're pulling out the exact same roam. We know that the site presence is light. Let's go fast. But why not just do the same thing that already worked? Like, you freaking smoked them on the roam clear now that you know what you're walking into, and instead you change it up. Get killed from the hatch. It was a bit of a I think, questionable decision from Reven. I think it would have been very easy just to straight clear with this Jackal and Dokkaebi combo again. Even the players on Alpha Atheris are placed pretty much exactly the same. And now runners, just no drones, you're roaming it upstairs. Oh, no, look, okay, there was a drone. Still lost the fight anyway, so I don't care. 2v4 for Sam and Wrath. Dokkaebi call is going out, but no opportunity for Sam to get the pick. Wrath is sitting bottom main looking for an opportunity, and he won't find it. And, flawless round.
Oh. Gorgeous stuff there by Alpha. The thing is, right, that, you know, at that point, they see that Joe is in pillars, right? And they're like, oh my god, they're on site. They're just here. They're just existing. Immediately, they shut down Joe. They shut down Draw. That gives them a bit of breathing room. They go for the cams. They're like, hey, what information do we have here? What information do we have? We have the advantage. It's a 2-man advantage. We can have a breather. It's still pretty much the start of round at this point. Alpha took advantage of the breathing room they had there 100%. They played that so well, just holding those crosses, letting Reven make those mistakes grow. But now, this is where things get a little bit spicier, because Reven are indeed on that defensive path.
It literally felt like Reven tried to go fast, and Alpha Thirst were like, oh my god, they're on site, and then just smoked them, and we're like, oh, is that it? What now? We even saw there were people from Reven still outside. So...
I think that's the thing, right? Joe's in pillars and Sam's still in spawn zoning.
Yeah. Got a lot of good that did.
Yeah, it's a bit...
Now Mira's in play. You got Mira, Smoke, Goyo, so a lot of delay power for Reven. I'm sure Solus and Jaeger are probably going to be on the roam. Like, and Joe's probably going to be on the roam again, because he's Joe. There we go. Why not? Goyo's utility, already down. He is challenging the side of the map from where the clear is beginning, which is Small Tower. The Buck of Fatal has already opened the barricade. Joe hears that and thinks to himself, well, there must be a drone on me. And there is, but it doesn't matter, because Joe's kind of nasty. Ivan's got a response, though. Refrags draw, the Solus. And I mean, while Solus is very good, she's not the end-all be-all on Oregon like she sometimes is on other maps. And for Alpha Atheris, they've lost their Buck. Now they've only got one hard breacher in that Hibana. So she's got to be very careful, and Joe is just swinging for the fences. Jay now dead too. A significant portion of explosive utility now gone. And Alpha Atheris, scrambling to try and get this man count back, have lost another body.
The wise man once said, let the bodies hit the floor.
Who said that?
A wise man. Reven, things looking good. Slight advantage here, and again, they can just kind of pull back a little bit now. Hold some of these crossfires. This is the part where they don't need to get silly, right? This is the part where they don't need to go for something too aggro. They can just hold these crossfires and let Alpha come to them. Let them be the ones that have to scramble for this information. Hatch is getting open though, Crow. The Alpha is starting to prepare themselves for a little bit of the old execute. Again, blue pressure coming in now from Matumbo as well. I think Rafe is too worried.
There's someone right on that barrel door, so they just heard that barbed wire get opened. There's a smoke canister instead to come out to stall Matumbo. Alpha Theris kind of in search mode, searching for an opening. Unfortunately for Nade, there is in fact someone watching that wall, so he's not going to get the sightline on Wrath that he wanted to. Alpha Theris are just going to try an E-box drop, it looks like. Here comes the Hibana. He's got support from the staircase. There's no openings for Nade just yet. The Jaeger still in barrels will finally get hunted down. There's a kill for Nade. The Jackal now walking through bunker. Baited by the smoke canister, so he'll have to back off. Now 23 seconds remaining in a 3 versus 4, but Joe gets caught from the angles opened up by his team in the single wall. Sam looking to get aggressive, lights up Matumbo to 1 HP. Now what are the Alpha Theris going to do? Runner's got the freezer cross, kills Ivan, looking for a second. He'll nab it. It's actually Sam to hit the headshot, leaving Matumbo alone with only 5 seconds left and 1 HP. There is absolutely nothing he can do. And Reven retake that lead 4-3.
Certainly hotting up now. The thing is there as well, it's these little tiny mistakes sometimes that we keep seeing on both sides where it's like, did you have to peek that? I understand going for the floor hole peak, but at that point, you know, you've got the Vulcan covering the collapse from electrical. It's a little bit cheeky, a little bit greedy, I must confess.
I mean, it's Alpha Theris not having the man advantage, and then freaking out because they don't have it, and saying, "Oh my god, like, oh we lost Fatal.
Yeah,
I gotta cut Joe off." Even though they already killed Draw, they're like, "Oh, I gotta cut Joe off. He can't get back to site," and that guy just gets dumpstered.
Yeah, but this is it. Like, Joe's then still peeking the floor holes when the Vulcans are pushing back the collapse, and it's just cheekiness for the bid to get a kill instead of thinking, okay, we can actually just hold some crossfires and play a bit more passive. There's barely any time left right now. They have to come through one of these tiny choke points that we already have crosses for.
Free my man. Stop hating. By the way, Joe, 3-2 on the entry.
Wit woo.
He has survived 1 round on Oregon. I like this clear from Alpha Theris, though. Opening up that armory wall first. That's going to force Runner off, and now they don't even have to deal with the shield. I mean, they're still probably going to Flores drone it. They don't have to waste a bunch of throwables. They can save their flashes, save their nades. Ivan's still got one in pocket. I'm sure he's probably going to rotate below and maybe try to nade someone. Although there are people below, so maybe not. Yeah, no. Okay, he's upstairs. There's only a mute, too, so they can very easily just deal with the mute jammer and then open the wall. That's probably what Ivan... Yeah, that's what Ivan's doing right now. Nade comes through. That should be the jammer, and now Ace can go ahead, open up that game's breach. And we're still 5 on... Oh, never mind. Just as I was about to say it. Joe peaked master. Flank from Draw almost whiffed. He gets the refrag onto Nade. Trying desperately to put Alpha Theris into panic mode.
Certainly is. He's going to try and flank through basement now as he's on the tiniest bit of health, so... he just wants to stay alive a little bit longer. Lots of utility clear coming through. Sam getting a little bit bolshy here. Shotgun in hand. Will Fatal fall?
There's a freebie.
Ooh, swing from the corner. There we go. There's one. Can we get the second? Yes, he can. SMG-11 to the face. The things you love to see. Ivan and Matumbo. Ivan again. Fail going large. How did that happen? A 2 versus 1. Goodness me, Crow, that looked dire, and they've just completely flipped this round on its head.
Sam single-handedly should have just won Reven the round. But they can't stop peeking, though Runner might have something to say about it. But he can't quick peek fast enough. I don't know why he reloaded. I don't know why he didn't just take the fight there.
Wow.
Yeah. Sam won the round for them. And then Reven said, but what if? What if we peek? And they died. One guy, I think that was Sam, forgot that there was a guy big window. Maybe the other two forgot that Ivan was pushing by trophy. Like, why did they peek?
It's so frustrating to witness.
Like, they literally...
Sam cleared Master. So much pressure got cleared there. Yes, you'd won player and trophy, but at that point, it's like you've dealt with one dimension to this collapse that they're attempting here. It's again the almost greediness for these kills, isn't it? It's the greediness.
They had Alpha Atheris in search mode. And I guess this time they just didn't expect them to be holding angles when they were down a man. Or didn't expect them to be pushing in when they were down a man. I don't know. But either way, beautiful stuff from Matumbo and Ivan. And now, Reven are going back to dorms, probably thinking to themselves, guys, how the hell did we just lose that round? They should be thinking that, because they shouldn't have. Opening pick for Fatal and a Joe, by the way, again. What is it? What is it?
Oh, a freebie there. The audio cue giving it away. Wanna get us swing around the corner. Beautiful little pre-fire. Taylor's oldest time.
Dude, I can't remember this quote in this claim. The unexamined life is not worth living. That's what it is. I had context for that, and it took me so long to remember the phrase that I can't remember what the context was.
Deep chats with Crow, everybody. Deep chats indeed. 4 versus 4 though, Crow. I mean, again. I love the fact that Reven is still playing very aggressively when it comes to the armory corridor.
Fortunately, Joe paid the price. Oh, a soulless scan on the drone.
Ooh.
I mean, draw is going to be a thorn in the backside of Alpha Theris now. Like, they're going to have to dedicate a guy to watching flank pretty much the whole round, unless they drone him out in sight. But look at Ivan. He's very close on the trophy door. Theoretically, he could just walk in and take this one against the Jaeger. The open breach is there. Wrath is starting to swing it. He probably just heard the nade pulled, and that's why he gets the jump on Ivan. Draw with the flank, kills Matumbo, who, by the way, was outside the front door. We just won that fight with the SMG-11, but the ace is going to start to get aggressive. Again, Alpha Atheris are now in search mode. Down goes Wrath. Jay and Fatal are searching for picks, getting aggressive, and Reven need to be ready for it because they're only up by one man. Fatal now finds himself in the middle of the bomb site and catches Sam off guard. 3 kills for the ace, but luckily draws there at top white. Instantly refragged by Jay. 1v1. Still a flashbang in Jay's pocket. Runner's stuck in a corner. He flashes the wrong part, but that prompts the swing, and Runner wins the fight this time, amending for the previous round's loss. Reven retake the lead.
We certainly do. I can't get over how many of these rounds are coming so close to the nail at this point. So rightfully so, we are going to see a timeout get called by Reven here. I mean, wow. Like, again, the plays that we're seeing from some of these players are just clearing so much breathing room. But then Alpha, in the beautiful way that they do, they are just not scared to take these engagements. They're going for these gunfights. They have the information to do so. And it's just becoming whittled down based on these gunfights alone, to be honest, Crow.
Yeah, the trade in the beginning definitely bearing a lot of fruit for Reven there. Fatal tried to make a stance. Again, people just weren't looking his way. Thank God Draw was there for the refrag. And from there was just the 1v1. But Reven, again, kind of taken off guard by the fact that Alpha Atheris, they're down bodies. They are going to actively go hunting, even though they're down in man count. Really, because they're down in man count. And you have to expect it. They did not pay the price like they did in the previous round. Maybe that's what this timeout is for. Maybe it's Reven. I don't know. Do Reven have a coach?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Snowy. Maybe Snowy's talking to them now saying, hey, guys, we know that when it comes down to it, if Alpha Theris don't have an opening, they are going to make one themselves. We have got to be ready for it because they lost the round off of it on round 8. Came very close to losing it on round 9.
Well, anyone can, who can, Cap can. Draw bringing the Cap can out. We're hoping to catch Alpha's aggressive plays at the end of these rounds a little bit off guard here. These EDDs are very useful for catching people off guard if they've delayed the timer enough, which again with Alpha's attacks, we have seen this consistently grow. It is coming down to these final seconds when they're having to make these very aggressive pushes to win these gunfights. And a cheeky Cap can on the table. EDDs lurking on these door frames. Certainly going to put a spammer in the works.
Not only that, but you got the Mira and the Goyo too with the
yes.
smoke. So you've got tons of delay power. Joe is on the roam. The drone currently turned off. He tries to get the drop on Jay, who only was a little bit earlier. That was a freebie for Joe. But he'll settle for damage. He'll certainly rattle the attack a little bit and get a drone. And Joe, ladies and gentlemen, is now falling back to sight. Wonderful. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
I can't believe he just won that. Good night, Matumbo. Look at this. Alpha Theris. Now they're like, all right, we got to go.
Again, they pretty much had all this map control given for free, with Reven pulling back very, very quickly here. Wondering if at any point we will see, especially if they get one more kill on the table, Reven go for one of those kind of cheeky flanks. As time goes on, and again, you've given up so much control already, it's going to be very difficult to do. Because you don't really know which staircase they're going to be taking. I mean, we do. We can see that they're selling up now. Go for kind of pillars push, get these hatches open on electrical too. An oldie, but a goldie. I wonder if potentially they'll apply some laundry or freezer pressure as well. I think that would be wise thinking.
I don't know if I want them to flank. There's an old adage from years ago. You never flank with man advantage. Don't do it. Now that there's a dead attacker, you can be damn sure that someone's going to be on flank cams. And you'd rather, it's better to play trades on site than have someone go on a lone wolf mission and maybe die to someone on flank watch. But a lot of damage being dealt to Wrath. He's got support. Joe swings out just at the nick of time to kill Nade, but Wrath still ends up biting the dust. Now 3 versus 4. Jay on very low HP. Joe looking to challenge him through pillar, and he picks one off before he's taken out. Ivan also now low. 20 seconds remaining. Fatal getting lit up thanks to the crossfire. The cap cannon freezer is sure to be covering his teammate, and the cap can trap. Straw doesn't even need to do anything. Claims the life. The shotgun from Runner, just to add insult to injury, will put Reven on map and match point.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The read into the fact these final collapses, Alpha keep winning these gunfights. How do we prevent that? Well, we can pull back a bit and just allow these EDDs to do their thing. Who can? Cap can. A tale as old as time. Timeout being called, though, by Alpha Theris. Gotta pull something big out now, and then once again, hopefully bring us to overtime.
I'm telling you, I don't think it's happening. I think that the 3-3 half was the final nail in the coffin for Alpha Theris, because Reven, it's a lot easier to get the opening pick on the defense than it is on the attack. Or at the very least, it's easier to trade it back since you can have those pre-established crossfires, right?
Yeah.
And Alpha Theris, every time So it goes back to the trend of Alpha Theris only winning rounds in which they get the opening pick. They lost 2 rounds getting the opening pick already on Cafe. And that round 9, where Fatal instantly got killed Joe and it instantly got refragged, he tried to get that aggressive 3K and it didn't end up working. Every time so far on the attack that Alpha Theris have gotten an opener, it's been instantly traded by Reven. And again, that forces Alpha Theris into search mode. This is the first time we're seeing meeting, though, from Reven. This is a new bomb site. And a new lineup for Alpha Theris, now taking Nomad to shut down these roamers. The Dokkaebi for nade, for added info. And Matumbo is on Amaru, probably for that early tower cutoff. Oh my god, Cho's on Thorn Shotgun again. This didn't work, man.
I mean,
it didn't work all Oregon. It finally worked on Bank, and it was awesome. But it just didn't work on Oregon. Where is he? He's in tower. What?
I just want to see.
What is this?
I mean, it's a bit interesting, I will say.
Yeah?
Interesting. I was going to say a word that you've told me not to say anymore. But it is it is an interesting setup there. Again, it's still though, you've got the 4 utility on the table. Oh, you've also got draw, taking the head clean off Ivan there. I just want to see Matumbo go large with the G8 though. These are the things I want to see.
And look at this, search mode. Jay swings on into tower with no drone and dies to Joe. Up comes the Dokkaebi, but Wrath skates away. Now Draw is coming up the staircase to help out, and Matumbo's down. The Dokkaebi goes on Cam in the middle of the bed. Draw with 2 finishing Matumbo. And now Fatal's in a 1v5. Again, Alpha Atheris need to figure out how to cool their heads, and he one-pumps him? Holy crap! Reven, a 2-0. Call me a prophet, because boy, oh boy, did I call it.
I'd like to remind you of the cast predictions, Crow, actually. I'd like you to bask in my glory right now. A 2-0 victory to Revan. No smiling faces, certainly they're smiling now. Again,